As you've been hearing on our newscasts all day long, we are talking about the vandalism at a mosque in Cambridge, and regional police are now investigating. Nabeel Rana joins us this afternoon. Good afternoon, Nabeel.
Good afternoon. Thank you very much for having us.
No, thank you. Thank you for agreeing to come on. Can you tell us how this vandalism was discovered?
So yesterday, the Imam arrived at the mosque for a virtual meeting to attend from the mosque, and he saw some disturbance, some people in there. There was some noise. So he did not, for his safety, did not go in and called the local president as well as the police and then left the scene. Soon after the president arrived and the police arrived, the perpetrators and the intruders had fled. By then, they broke in a door or a window and went into the mosque and just went havoc, throwing away literature, flyers, media, as well as breaking. They stole a few things like the television, a data projector, broke the stove. So there was a lot of anger that we observed when we got there. But we don't know who it is and why did they have so much anger against a mosque, a sacred place, a peaceful community. Love for all, hatred for none is our motto, and we are totally in a state of shock.
Is this the first time this has happened, Nabeel?
Pretty much, yes. I mean, we've had minor incidences, like somebody would do a spray paint on the door or do a little thing, but no, never break in, never something of this magnitude. The whole basement level is devastated, and the kitchen is devastated. The upstairs, they ripped the DVR, the security camera recording, and they took the hard drive so that they don't leave any evidence behind.
Oh, okay. So then, of course, in these situations, to be able to look, I've been around this town a long time. I've seen all kinds of things vandalized at one point or another, but it does raise it to a different level when the security camera hard drive is stolen.
Yeah. It looks like they knew what they were doing, and they were there was a lot of hate, a lot of anger in them, and there was definitely more than one person. There could be 3 or 4 guys in there doing what they did. I mean, they ripped everything apart. I mean, the kit. I don't know if you looked at the pictures, but the stove has been so much beaten up that it's not even recognizable, and we don't understand why. There's a couple storage rooms where they just pulled out all the boxes, threw away all the books and the literature, and just created a big mess, like it looks like a war zone in the downstairs part.
So will this affect the operation of the mosque for a few days, Nabeel, before it can get back to normal, or will you be able to get back to normal a little bit more quickly?
We had not fully opened because of the lockdown that we had. We just started last week, a couple of weeks ago, the evening prayers, which we have put on hold now. And we were planning to have the Eid festivity, the Eid prayers on Tuesday as it's coming up. But I don't know if that's going to go ahead. But yeah, the cleanup is going to take a while, the damage, and then obviously, the things that have been stolen. I mean, we can still have the prayer service resumed, but we like to secure the building and have some security in place before we should be able to safely do that before we invite people.
When this kind of thing happens, Nabeel, does it tend to put into one's minds, we have to pull back, we have to be more careful?
Definitely. I mean, these things what are unfolding with what happened in London, Ontario, and other places in Hamilton and in the West, it seems there is some kind of pattern we're seeing, and this kind of hate should be nailed because we are a community, specifically a place of worship is a sacred place, and there should be no violence there. And that's what we stand for. And the message of the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, the organization that owns this mosque, Baitul Kareem Mosque in Cambridge, our message is love for all, hatred for none. and we are a peaceful community, so we are in a state of shock.
I am told that security measures are being heightened in some areas. Is that the case?
Yes, so we have issued measures we have, dozens of mosques throughout Canada. The Ahmadiyya Muslim community has branches, 60 or plus branches, and then dozens of mosques. So we have increased security at all our mosques. And then other mosques of other denominations within Islam have also kindly reached us. For instance, the two other mosques of Cambridge have reached us and shown their sympathies, and they're also trying to follow measures just to be vigilant what's going on, because we don't want something like that to happen anywhere, to any place of worship.
Do you have any indication, Nabeel, of the cost of replacing the items that were stolen and repairing the damage?
Not at this point, but it's definitely in the tens of thousands. In terms of property stolen, there's like monitors, televisions, data projectors, that kind of stuff has been stolen, and then out of the anger, what things they beat up. I mean, they didn't even, that doesn't even look like a theft. That just looks like anger coming out. Then we have to add up on that, and then the labor to clean up and all that. So, yeah, something, 10, 15, 20,000, something like that, but we don't know right now.
And it's got to make you wonder, what can you do? Because you've got security cameras, you've got locks on your doors, and you kind of think that people would see security cameras and go, not interested, but obviously that's not the case.
Yes, we have to figure out additional measures, because they even got away with that, and they took the hard drive from the DVR that was recording the cameras. At this point, I think we're going to have 24/7 physical security present there until we figure out what our next steps are in terms of security, bringing back a new security system which is more robust.
Nabeel, thanks for your time today.
Thank you so much for having, and thank you for your sympathy.
Okay, Nabeel Rana is with the Cambridge Mosque. It was vandalized overnight. That's an interesting twist on that report, that the hard drive, which is connected to the security camera system, was taken as well. Look, you could make the argument that any place can be broken into and vandalized, but I think that's a kind of fuzzy argument at the best of times. This one does seem to be a little bit more targeted. We'll have to wait for sure. We'll find out. Perhaps these are very, very, very difficult crimes to really attach somebody to without that kind of security footage. Or perhaps you get lucky and you've got somebody who's gone by overnight with a dash cam who may be able to pull something off that. But, we've recent stories of a number of people who have had their cars broken into as it sits in their driveway. These are pretty tough to pull together, and it's been condemned, as it should be, as all of those kinds of attacks against anything should be. And just hope we're at a better path on our road than sometimes it seems. Star 570, 570-2545, 1-800-570-5715. We'll be back to wrap up and look ahead. This is Kitchener Today on 570 News.
News travels quick.